Okay, looks like we're live. Liam, so
So,
good to see you.
so-
Can you sort of introduce who you are and what you do?
sure. So I'm Liam Carter Hawkins. I am a user experience and user interface designer, sort of contractor
Mhm.
right now, and I work in London, central London.
Wonderful. So you were in my positioning accelerator program for a while, and if you could think back to before you started that, tell me what your business looked like what kind of clients were you working with, that kind of thing.
Sure. So um, I guess coming from an industrial design background,
Hmm.
um, I would say I probably had the broadest positioning possible
Hmm.
in that I was a designer.
Right.
So I would work with, doing kind of engineering work really for a medical
Hmm.
company.
Hmm.
And then I would pitch for some consumer electronics products. And then like many industrial designers, inevitably kind of got pulled into kind of app and website design.
Hmm.
So that brought me to website, basic website design
Hmm.
before I joined with you.
So what were you wanting to change or do different, or what were you trying to create by joining the accelerator program?
I think the most important thing for me was that going through your content and like Brennan's content, Kurt Elster,
Hmm.
um, I understood that I think for me, the biggest benefit of really clear positioning was kind of the marketing.
Hmm.
Um, it's very difficult to, I mean, really know where to begin with content if you don't first have, a lot of clarity on the position. So I think it was, it's marketing. I understood how it helps sell clients a lot better.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I also knew that the marketing and the content that I could kind of direct people to, um, if that was really good, then I really wouldn't have any issue selling.
Okay. So what kind of concerns or questions did you have about the program before you started?
Um, well, I think the biggest question, not so much a concern, because it's kind of why I came on board with you. But the
Hmm.
biggest question was how specific to go,
Uh-huh.
how far to niche down. Um, yeah, I'd say that's that was the biggest question anyway.
Okay. So what kind of stuff did you learn from doing this, and how have things changed since then?
Well, as I say, the marketing, my positioning um, now is based kind of around a process that's quite well known amongst designers.
Hmm.
So it's extremely specific as a process. And in answer to your question, I would struggle very much creating any kind of marketing content at all, really, before. Whereas now, when I do this 5 day process thing that designers do, while I do contract work as well,
Hmm.
I have decided to aim all my content at this specific process because it's the
Hmm.
kind of thing that an entrepreneur, startup, or company would want to kick off a project.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a roadmap. Um,
Hmm.
so that's why I gear all my marketing and my kind of in-person talks around this process now. Um, so it's just so much more clarity, yeah, around kind of the marketing and how I talk to people.
I could be misremembering this, but I think when you were in the program, you did your first talk. Am I right about that?
No, no.
Okay, tell me what actually happened then.
No. So what's happened is you were on a webinar
Uh-huh.
with Liston
Yep.
Witherbin.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm glad you brought that up. Actually, it kind of puts you know puts it in black and white why positioning is so important.
Right, right.
But so this process is called design sprint. It's a Google design sprint.
Okay.
It's something that Google Ventures came up with.
Uh-huh.
Certainly worth checking out. Anyway, so I approached a friend of mine with essentially a pitch to her and said, look, I know you have this conference, this summit that you do. I think, what I do, this really quick process for problem solving could be really useful.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of took the basic template that you guys came up with. And yeah, she replied with done and done. And it's in the NASA Kennedy Space Center in Florida, which means I get a holiday as well.
That's terrific. So has that talk happened yet?
It hasn't. No.
Okay.
It is on the 27th of April, so in about a month.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So, sorry for misremembering that. I think what I'm always trying to do with folks in the program is, I guess, push you a little bit outside your comfort zone, right?
Yeah.
So this will be your first talk at a conference.
I've talked quite a lot before.
Okay.
I've been involved with NASA a couple of times before, where I've had to talk at a couple of their conferences.
Yeah.
However, as a professional designer, yes, this would be the first one, the first kind of talk that I give.
Congratulations!
Yeah. Thank you. It was it was you guys that's pushed me to do that. And another thing on that note, actually, the first time we became acquainted, you suggested that I go and talk to potential target market,
mm-hmm.
And introduced me to the Lean Customer Development book.
Right.
So while I didn't struggle too much with that, it's certainly something that, that kind of customer development and talking to people, again, it's something that I benefited a lot from, from your suggestion, and I kind of have to convince clients to do the same thing now as well, just because it really helps and gives a lot of clarity.
I can't imagine investing any money in design without trying to understand who you're designing for.
You'd be surprised.
I'll leave it at that. So what kind of business do you think this program is a good fit for? And likewise, who would you say, it's probably not a good fit for?
I think it's a great fit for a business that wants definitely automatic lead generation, because online today there's so much noise, and to cut through that, I just think you have to, it's positioning, it's niching, really. Now, I would say it's not a particularly good fit for, say, an agency that currently relies on word of mouth and is happy with that and is confident that that will continue.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, but yeah, I would say if you want kind of consistent inbound, leads and inquiries, then positioning is absolutely for someone that wants that, and that's why I kind of take it so seriously, and it's always the first question I ask if if I'm thinking of pivoting or just minor pivots these days. But it's got me to the point where, as I say, with what I do now, I'm a lot more comfortable writing content and stuff because I know the value in what I do, and it's very clear, what each part is, so I can write about. It just makes things so much easier.
That's great. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add about your experience with this program?
I would say as early as possible, try to come on board with you and ask the questions that most businesses today aren't asking, and learn to ask better questions, really. um, and try really, really, really hard to validate.
Yeah.
Just, it's so important. So important. And I think, your content kind of is full of that. But I think if there's someone that wants to progress a lot quicker, then just come straight on board with you as early as possible. That's it.
Well, Liam, thanks for talking to me today. How can people see what you're doing online, get in contact with you, that kind of thing?
Sure. Well, I've got a temporary website up, but every freelancer or contractor says
Yeah, right.
It's currently at www.liamcarterhawkinsdesign.com, but it might change to liamcarterhawkins.com soon when I update my DNS records. Yeah.
Okay, but currently liamcarterhawkins.com.
Design.com.
Hawkinsdesign.com.
Yeah.
Great.
At present, anyway.
Well, thank you, Liam.
That's fine. No problem at all. Always happy to help.